can't remember the question.
Jane was asking, right, sorry, I forgot to put the recording button on, and we've decided that we're going to chat about the online side of the business tonight, because the majority of people on tonight are catalogue retailers, and we've got the top online sellers here tonight. So we're taking advantage of that and just having a brainstorm and a sizzle about any question you want. Sorry, Louise and Kate, it's Jane's fault. This was not preempted. Any questions you want to ask Kate and Louise, and they're going to take their turns as well. Jane's question was, can you remember it, Jane? Because the first question was for Jane.
If I'm a brand new person, I'm wanting to get started online, what do I do?
Well, first of all, I would be trying to find out a little bit about you and how well you operate online, how well you know.
Oh, I know nothing.
But she's taking it for other people if it's a brand new person. Jane wants you to get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, no, I would.
In the beginning bit first, Jane.
I always sort of have a look at somebody's Facebook account as well. I see how many friends they've got, that kind of thing. And then I would be advising them, obviously I tag them in training and stuff, but I would be advising them about setting up a group, and probably at the moment setting up a page as well to run alongside that. Some people, if they already know social media, maybe have a preference there, and to be honest, I'm not too fussy about that. If they prefer a page to a group, that's all very well, as long as it gets them started. For me, that's the main thing. If it's a page they're comfortable with, that's absolutely fine. I would be explaining to them how our system works online, really. I would go through that with them. I would be covering, they would be in the team photos group, so they would know they could get all their images and stuff there. I would be covering how many posts they should be looking to put out every single day in their groups, how interactive they should be, how they're going to get new people to join their groups. First up by basically posting on their own Facebook timeline to their own family and friends, and make it known that they've got a new business, they're looking for people to support them, because it's true what they say, if you don't ask, you don't get, and if you don't tell people what you're doing, then you can't expect their support. Sorry if I'm going too fast, but I
was thinking it maybe we'll just recap on it, just keep going and then just recap, because there's a wee bit quick because you know it so well, and I'm keeping up because I know about it.
You can always watch it back.
That's right.
But, yeah, so then I would also be encouraging them to use their 5 catalogue packs that they get as well, around their close family, immediate family, their neighbours, their friends, their work colleagues, their mums at the school gates, kind of thing. Because obviously we all know the power of getting those catalogues into people's hands as well. And that can be really, really helpful for a new online person, even if they didn't want to drop them. But 5 is quite an easy number, I think, for people to work with, first off, without putting huge pressure on them, if you see what I mean, to kind of approach people about catalogues, if you know what I'm saying. I would then speak to them about using Marketplace, using their group link on all their posts that they're putting out on Marketplace to direct traffic back to their sales group. And yeah, I mean, if somebody really, I always advise them as well to go and spend a wee bit of time having a look about their back office and the web shop, because it's amazing the number of people that don't think to do that. Actually, they jump right in with 2 feet and they maybe set up their group and they go to the photos group and they start posting products in, and that's great, and obviously that's what we want, but at the same time they then get an inquiry or they get a dropship order, and that's where it becomes, oh right, okay, what do I do, where do I look for this kind of thing. So it's always worth mentioning to take a bit of time to have a look about the website. Yeah, and obviously I just go at their pace and give them pointers as we go. encourage them to keep asking questions, etc. But as you know, that's really the gist of it, is getting that group up and running, driving people into it, and about being consistent, basically. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. They've got to be consistent. They've got to be doing it daily from day one. If they want to nail it, they've got to do it for day one.
So if you go back to day one, then if they're not familiar, you would encourage them to have a group and do the page later. Would that be
Yes.
it?
Yes, definitely. But what I'm finding is I'm noticing a lot of new people that have got some sort of experience on social media. A lot of it is pages, whether they're running community pages and things like that. And I found this out, maybe I found it the hard way, as the saying goes, I don't know, but a lot of these people seem to prefer pages because that is what they're used to working with. So that's what I'm meaning when I was saying I'm not pushing the issue and forcing a group upon somebody if they're familiar with a page. But if it's a complete newbie who's done nothing at all like this before, I would definitely encourage a group. Definitely.
The benefits of a page is you can get more traffic to it, but the group is benefit of that is we trap them. So that's
I know. I'm just finding at the moment sometimes with some of the Facebook changes that pages, people are more willing to just like a page than they are to actually physically join a group. I was going to say
them joining, so it does both. I'm saying they do join the groups, but the page is another option.
But sometimes it's easier just to go and like it for people to like a page. Obviously, you've got the hashtag option on pages for your reach and stuff as well. Linking a page to like say your Instagram if you're that sort of clued up on it, sort of thing. And then the shop facility obviously as well on a page, which is another advantage. So there's advantages and disadvantages for both. There really is.
Aye, pages are great because they're more public.
Pages used to get a lot more reach, but at the moment I'm finding mine isn't.
Right. If you've just bragged about pages.
I know. That's the thing. It seems to be a bit up and down.
You found that as well.
I mean, I've got a multiple pages, as you know, and one of them seems to be getting seen a lot more than the others, and stuff. So yeah,
I guess it's just a number.
That's just Facebook, I think, and changes at the minute.
Did that answer your question, Jane?
That was excellent. Thanks very much.
Anything else? That
was excellent.
That was excellent. Anybody got any other questions they want to ask before we throw back to another? I've got the other questions for Jane's original one. Well, I think nobody. Come on.
Yeah. On your page, my page shop has got like a shop on it where you actually put products from your website on it, and you can link it to like the Viva MK website. But when you actually post stuff on it, it's a separate like post. Do you use one of them sort of pages for your shop?
Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of.
You mean do you have a separate website for your shop other than the Viva one?
No, he's not meaning that. You're asking about a separate post.
Like Facebook's got my Facebook page is a Facebook shop where there's this, you can get people to on my shop. What I sell is Viva MK stuff, so I've got to take the picture and the description and the link to the Viva MK site. So if somebody wants to buy something from my shop, it goes straight to Viva MK.
Yeah.
But when I actually, it takes a long time to put products onto that shop.
Yeah.
So like when I do it normally, you do a bit of advertising, just put a quote or something on. It doesn't actually go onto the shop. It actually goes onto descriptions.
Yeah.
So do you use one of them sort of shops?
Yeah. Yeah, I would use the post to the page as well as just your shop posts. So while you're building up the catalogue of your products in your shop, and I know what you mean because it can take ages to list them and go through it all and link it to the website, which is why mine hasn't been updated. But But yeah, I would actually do normal posts on your page to advertise products as well. Even if you've not actually got them in your shop, I would still be putting that product post out there. Yeah, definitely. Same as you would do in a group. Do you have a group as well, Raymond? Or
Yes, I do. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so I would certainly do the product posts as normal, even if you're not linking it to the shop. Especially like so today, for example, when we've had new catalogue reveals and things like that. So, and you want to get that product out there, but you might be out and about doing other stuff, so you've not got time to link it into your shop right away. But I would still put the product post out there because you're generating interest at the end of the day. It's not always about just getting people to click a link to buy. It's about generating interest and then building up that relationship with the customer by getting them to maybe comment on it. You know, they ask a question, they ask how can they buy it, they ask how much it is, etc. These kinds of things. So I would still be putting normal posts out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're caught up eventually. You're better doing product posts because they will be seen more than, as you say, your positive quotes. Anybody else? Kate, have you got anything to add? Phil, it all been quite.
Yeah, I would just say to always remember that Louise covered absolutely everything that I would have said as well if I'd gone first. The thing to remember about social media is it is social media, and if you constantly put links on all your posts, etc., for people to click on, some people are a wee bit suspicious about clicking on a link as well. So to me, the social aspect of social media is really important as well, because you know, I'll put on something and I might miss a price out, or I might miss out a bit of the description or something. I might just say message me for more information or whatever, and start conversations with people, and that can develop a trust as well. You know, if you're maybe having a wee laugh on Messenger with people, or you know, you've got a bit of interaction going, you know, even a good morning post that's quite funny and people have a laugh at it and everything like that as well. So it's a social thing as well. I think the pages are brilliant, but I don't actually link my page at the moment to the web shop at all. And one of the reasons for that is that it's only very recently that the web shop changed so that the purchases through the web shop were added for bonus figures. It wasn't always the case. So although you could still make your retail profit from a sale through your web shop, it wasn't qualifying for bonuses. So I've only just recently started to think about using it, really, because that's quite a relatively recent change. But also, you know, you don't always get notified immediately if a customer has gone through your web shop and placed an order, do you? So I like to have that thank you for your order, and you know, it'll come on Wednesday or whatever, and just kind of be able to tell them a bit about when their order's coming and have a conversation with them about it, and you know how to use it, and you know, this is what we've found about it. I'm having good conversations with people just now about things like the sleep product and things like that, where they wouldn't have come and asked about it if they were just going to click a link to buy it, but they're asking me and I'm arranging the order for them. So that's my preference, just to remember that it's social media.
You know, just picked up on something there, because I did notice, like, I'm quite pedantic with that. Like, if you know, putting like the new products that came out today, I noticed that you guys just had them up, and some of them didn't wasn't laid out. Maybe Kate, I think it was one of yours, was just laid out in your, as if it was copied and pasted for Kirsty's.
I did change it. It wasn't actually copied. I did change them, because I'm not going to say the next reveal's coming at 4 o'clock. I always would change it.
There's one that didn't have any text, though, the one with the green bags. Is that what you're meaning? But you just
because I had with that one, I just made a little image of it. I just made it into a pic collage, and I put the
price on it.
I just said, what was it, the spring garden bag or something. I just put the price on the picture and then put what a great idea in the text. That's all I said.
That's what I was meaning with just popping
up. Rather
than worrying about all the content,
I thought less was more for that product.
Since we're talking about online, Joe's agreeing. Have you got something you want to say, Joe? I see your wee heat bobbing up. Go on. So try and get herself on mute, off mute.
Pressing the wrong button. No, they've just me and Abby been bickering all day about that bloody gnome. I'm having one and I don't care what she says. That's all.
Joe, I think you should have two.
Yeah.
Yes. She said,
Right,
what do
try
you
not
want
to
for
think of
Mother's-
it.
What do you
Try
want
not
for
to think
Mother's
of it as a gnome, Joanne. It's actually a wizard. That might make it sound better for her.
Okay, yeah. But I love gonks and things like that. Gonks, Highland cows, Swiss sheep, all sorts of stuff like that. The house is full of stuff. I drive her nuts. And when you get twinkly solar things, that's it. I'm gone. I'm done. Everything's twisted.
Well, you're a girl after my own heart. So to go back to the online. Sorry, Jane, did you have a question? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to tell quickly a story relating to what Raymond was talking about, but not, if you like. I've got a group. I don't really use a page, to be honest. And the majority of people on my group, I know most of them. If I don't know all of them, but I do know most of them. There was a girl sent me a message last week. Now, I like the eco-friendly products and advertise them fairly regularly on the group. I put a post up about 10 days ago saying about the window degreaser and how, with a pup in the house, using it,
Seen that post.
it worked really well and was a lot less, seemed to be a lot less effort required. And this girl who hasn't bought from me for 3 years, I would say, very quickly put a post up saying, Jane, can I have this? And I thought, there you go. So, you know, I didn't know she still saw the posts, never mind anything else. But there you go. So
Posting.
groups and pages, yes, they both work, but I don't have links either, Raymond, for the same reason as Kate mentioned.
That's all.
Well, the other problem I've had for many years is that if I use my links too often on a post, eventually I'm getting slowed down. So Louise is telling me that's not happening so much now. So I might start periodically using links again, but generally I don't use links on my post. I sometimes use them on comments, but not the post itself.
I was going to say that, Kate. I've noticed on a lot.
But Louise is saying that's
so many
improved a bit now.
links.
Yeah, they seem to be putting links in the comments rather than you go like, I don't know, like Lad Bible or news articles and stuff like that. They're giving you a headline and something to tempt you in, and then they're pinning the top comment with the link in it because putting the link as part of the original post, it doesn't seem to like it, does it?
Well, it didn't for a while, but I might experiment a little bit with it now, because I do see people in different businesses that put a link on every single post, and they're very prolific, and they're using their link again and again and again and again and again, and they don't appear to be getting stopped. But I don't really want to be stopped. But
no.
But I might experiment with it a little bit just now. Did you say you had started using your link again a wee bit, Louise?
Well, I always put my link on Marketplace posts.
On Marketplace,
yeah.
And then obviously you can link products into your story and stuff as well, direct to your web shop, which is a good thing to do.
Yep.
Because a lot of people are used to buying online. As much as there's people that don't like clicking on links, there's people that do how they live, and they click on they click on a link to take them to Amazon, etc. So that it swings and roundabouts. You know what I mean? I think as long as we keep doing a mixture of both, try and cater for the wider audience kind of thing, because a lot of younger people coming up just prefer to click on a link than actually messaging to ask a question, because that link should take them directly to the product.
Yep.
Which should have a description, which is the only downfall with the Viva site at the minute, because there's an extreme lack of descriptions on the products, which isn't good from a customer point of view. But all being well, we'll all have that sorted soon with the new site, because that's actually quite important if they're wanting to use it as a shop.
Yep.
You need to have all the information that you've got in a catalogue
Yeah,
you need to have on that website. And
definitely.
at the moment, we didn't have that on the majority of products, and that's
Yeah.
Well, where that, you know, comes into it, if Viva end up getting a lot of returns because people are unhappy because it's not what their expectations are, then they'll change, Louise.
yeah,
They'll change
Yeah.
quite quickly.
I know.
You know,
And it just needs to be pointed out.
Yeah.
It needs to be pointed out.
Mhm.
what
I
we
find it frustrating.
I'm identifying two different ways because basically what makes VMK strong is we teach how to build customer bases. And tell me if I'm wrong. So we teach customer base with the catalogue and the online side that when we started it seems like forever ago on Facebook when we started using groups. Pages were doing better when I first started, groups were second, and then groups took over. We started building groups with it, and the whole idea of building a group was to build a customer base. So just to prove that that does work, Louise, where do most of your online sales come from?
Just about everything comes to my group. Just about everything. I have quite a few things on Marketplace. That's actually one of my big aims at the minute, is to try and be a lot more consistent on Marketplace. And I'm going to start doing it in sections, if you like. Like at the minute, I've just added all the doobies that I've got from my mystery boxes kind of thing. But for example, I'm going to be working my way through the personalised book, and I'm going to get every single personalised product on my Marketplace. I've got a few bits and pieces as well on eBay, and I had another eBay order just today. I mean, the eBay is no regular thing for me,
No.
you know, but it's like I've said to you before, I didn't view it as my main sales. I know it could be if I worked it, but I quite frankly didn't have the time for eBay. It just doesn't excite me. Like Facebook,
It's profit as
Instagram,
well, and there's a bit more hassle attached to it.
It's additional volume for me, eBay.
Yep.
A bit like how I look at Marketplace and stuff, you know what I mean? If you get a sale, then great, brilliant, it's that wee bit extra, but my main focus for my sales has to be my Facebook
Group. So that's
first, and then Instagram second.
The customer base there in the group. And so, because when we were talking there, when Raymond was talking about pages and we're talking about putting the products on, it's really important to put lots of individual products on, because that is how we get customers. To me, and I'll get an opinion on this, I'm just telling you my opinion, the link is secondary. And the link is there for the people that we can convert into a customer. Because if we can start talking to them, building up communication, you know, just, you know, you all know we do it on the doors. And I think everybody here sold online. You all know that you build up that relationship and then you get other orders. So the link, just, you know, use it, you know, but just remember that the source of the lead, the source of your sales will come for the customer bases.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say as well, sorry, I'm interrupt you, but oh, my memory is so bad, I forgot what I was going to say. I think I wanted to press home the point that putting individual products on is really what builds. Yeah, there was just one more thing, Louise, and then I'll pass it back to you. Putting the individual products on is what builds up your customer base, and it's what gets communication going. The link really, in my opinion, secondary. There's a lot of people nodding their heads. It's, you know, if somebody doesn't buy from me, then here's a link to my shop and they go to the Viva site. You know, if they're stagnant, I might send them some flip books, or, you know, if I like the flip books because people like them. But the other thing I was going to say, because a lot of, or all, the majority of Louise's sales come from her group, I must say that place is how we have actually built our groups, and I personally find the Marketplace works really well for me. And you can post on 20 other groups at the same time, so that's a bit of a bonus that you're getting the Marketplace. And the Marketplace, if you want to just do the Marketplace on its own, for people who understand how the footprint works, the Marketplace doesn't have a footprint because it's a separate app. So there's no footprint. So you can put lots of Marketplace ads on their own, without worrying or fear of ban. But if you tried to share all of them with 20 groups, you know, like 100 marketplace adverts, I hope this makes sense. So you can put as many marketplace adverts as you want, because there isn't that footprint, which is why Louise says she uses a link more on there. But I know I don't want to take the floor too much, but Kate, you did mention about bans, because I know you're once bitten 100 times shy. I have lots of people putting in the posts now on Facebook. I think I've eased up on a lot of things during the lockdown because they've wanted the audience.
Yeah, but they've also tweaked other things as well that are a bit.
Anybody who's not spoken, got something they want to say about either online or catalogues, or even a positive story?
Could I just say 2 points really quickly, just to relate to what you were just saying there? First of all, just you might find this quite interesting, but yes, the majority of good sales come from a group, practically everything. But probably you'll know how long I've had my page. You'll see how consistent I am on the page as well. I have not had one sale go through my shop on my page. Okay, so and that's quite telling, because it is so time consuming to load those products and link them to your website. It's really, really time consuming, because Facebook have got you jumping through hoops to do it with different, just the way it is, before you can actually load. Well, you load them up first, and then you have to go to all the passively linking each one individually to your website. I've not had one sale like that, so that's why I've not updated that shop yet, to be honest, because it's quite low on my priority to do list, if you see, because obviously I've had my website to update first. I've got Facebook every day, I've got Instagram every day. I've got to do the things that are working and that are bringing in sales first and foremost. So didn't get too hung up thinking, oh my God, I could have a shop, I need to do that and blah, blah, blah. I actually don't think we need to do that, if I'm honest, because I think once we get this new website, I think just actually throwing your website link out there and having people click and going directly to the new website is going to be far more beneficial than actually products into a Facebook shop. Because I've had more sales through my website since I set that up than I've had none. I've had none through my Facebook shop at all. They all come through my group.
Talking about.
So, I mean, I have had comments put on posts on my Facebook page.
I've been saying shop, I'm saying in me.
And I've sold a product or two that way, but I haven't had anybody actually click and go into the shop now button and actually complete a full sale, if you know what I mean. I've had people click and look, but they've never completed the sale.
So really the communication with them is just exactly the same online as it is with the catalogue and building the relationship.
Yeah. And that's another reason why I think we don't want to spam your link out every single post. You don't want to make every single post click here and buy now, click here and shop now, click here.
Do that, you've lost the chance.
Yeah, you need to encourage that customer relationship.
Definitely. I mean, people will buy from them. People buy from you when they trust you, I think, and also you're more likely to get repeat business from people that have spoken to you as well.
Yeah, my general fear of putting out the link there is people go to links and then they disappear. One might visit it and no buy for you and then disappear and not find that link again. Whereas if they're in your group, you know, again, they're trapped. But that's the reason we teach people when they get started to get their group up and running when they get started online. Now, I'm going to put the floor out to somebody that's not spoken. Anybody want to talk about any subject or got a positive story to share?
Trisha, tell us about the sleep drink.
Oh,
She disappeared, she's back.
it's honestly the best thing ever. I swear to God, I don't sleep as it is, as you know. I always say waking up during the night. And then I thought I had toothache the other night there, and I thought I was going to take it anyway, and I took it, and I'm not joking, within half an hour I was out like a light, and that was me in absolute pain, agony. So it was.
That's a good testimonial. I'm going to get it because I like hot chocolate.
And you slept all night?
It tasted right through, slept like a log, right through to about 6 in the morning I slept, and that was for about midnight. Oh, it was brilliant.
Sorry, go on, Jan.
It's mind blowing when that happens, isn't it? When you've not had a sleep for weeks.
Honest to God, see now, I'm still kind of waking up now, but I'm not. I feel as if I've got a deep sleep.
Having a good sleep.
And I'm waking up about 7 o'clock and I feel really refreshed and my mind's starting to get a lot clearer as well.
Good.
So it is,
That's
I
a
swear
good
by
night's
it.
sleep. Oh my God, very good testimonial.
You know what I found with it as well, like you, it was making me get to sleep an awful lot quicker rather than like my mind sitting overthinking stuff through all the time. And then I slept right through the first couple of nights as well. But even now, if I waken the odd night, I'm only wakening like and just turning over and I'm getting right back to sleep. That is a huge bonus for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not lying awake at 3 o'clock and no getting back to sleep that I end up picking up my phone and then, do you know what I mean? And then you're in that vicious cycle of actually being awake. I'm not properly awake. And I do feel as well that my quality sleep has been much better because I actually
definitely.
in the morning. Yeah, definitely.
There's a testimonial to get out to your customers.
Yep.
Anybody else want to take the floor? Who's not said anything? Nigel and Amanda, how are you? He put his sunglasses on when I said, do you want to talk? I said, I'm giving you the phone. I seen him putting his glasses on as if he was hiding.
Yeah, we're good.
Nigel's been very prolific online lately. He's had lots.
Yes.
Lots of I mean, I know you're active online, but Nigel's suddenly taken off and got really excited about it. And actually, I wish we could go back to the talks in the early stages when we wanted to get him to do it.
What's it online?
All these posts.
Oh, the posts, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about these times when we were trying to get him to go on Facebook and didn't want to go on Facebook. Now you're doing all your posting, but you're getting lots of people joining your group. So like it's quite actually interesting, Nigel, because we see like people are hesitant to join groups, but I see loads of people joining your group. Is it a number? I mean, do you think it's just something bit magic you're doing that you want to share, or is it just numbers?
It's just what the training was what I did last week about my Facebook has got how many 4,000 people on it, and I just keep adding people to the shop. Then I go on to Amanda's Facebook, then I have to acknowledge that they want to join the shop. That's all I'm doing. I've had nothing back to the moment. I'm drip feeding. I'm getting a lot of activity, getting people in where I wait, then I'll slowly start drip feeding them. I think if I get a lot of people in, I'll bombard them, they just click off again.
No, that's
build them slowly.
Yeah, I mean, that might be as well just open that up into a chat, because that's something that I think most of us would agree with, is no bombarding them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just putting, like, maybe we could get examples for people who do it, 2 or 3 posts in a day, maybe, would you say?
I try and do that a bit more than that. I try and do, not every day, but I do try and do.
Sponsoring group I'm talking about, sorry.
Oh, sponsoring group.
They're in both. They're in both groups. They're in on my page.
I know
my sponsoring page, but they're also on my Amanda's Essential Bits and Bobs. They're also on my shop, so they get products in there every day.
Yeah. Different the sponsoring adverts. You know, when Nigel was talking about the sponsoring adverts and the drip feed them. That's where I didn't quantify that which one it was. I know in the shop it would put a lot more than 2 or 3 a day. What I was meaning is in the sponsoring
group.
Yeah. Okay, I know you use it a lot.
I don't post in my sponsoring group every day. I do put testimonials on there. I do put looking forward to the new catalogue coming out. The flip book will go on there as soon as that comes out. Maybe 3 or 4 times a week I'll post in my sponsoring group and I've got a sponsoring page as well. But not as often as the product shop, definitely not.
Yeah.
Ask you a question, if you had a lot of people joining at the one time, would you be tempted to maybe do a daily post? Because
if I had a lot of people, what I've started to do now, and the same with my sponsoring, with my shop group as well, if I've got people asking to join the group, before I admit them to the group, I'll send them a message and just say, thanks for asking to join my whatever group it is. If it's my selling group, you know, we've got lots lots of new stuff coming on every day. So keep checking in, let me know if there's anything particular you're looking for. And I can tell you how to, you know, go through the ordering process and stuff. But for the sponsoring group, I'm now messaging them as well. Thanks for asking for information about the Viva MK opportunity. I'm adding you to the group now. There's a video pinned to the top. Have a look at that first. It kind of explains a little bit about the business. There's catalogue links, and I'll be happy to answer any questions for you. And then I'm going to follow them up again after maybe 2 or 3 days of them having a look at the group.
I think so.
But as they're generally not friends of mine, they might not see the message initially. So it's worth, you know, maybe waiting a day or two and putting send them another message, because I used to be able to tag people, even if they weren't friends. I used to be able to tag people. So if they joined the group, I could tag them on the introductory video or the flip books and stuff like that. And the tags aren't working for me now. So the message might not reach them immediately, but it will eventually. So
can I say something, Kate, that's not for tonight, but I think that could be your iPhone, because I can tell you how to solve that. That was quite fast. That was a lot of information. So what Kate's saying is, as they join the group, what she's decided to start doing is to send them a message. She hasn't always sent them a message, but
I started about maybe October, November time, just round about the time I realised the tags weren't working. But in actual fact, I prefer doing that anyway, because it's like a personal welcome
introduction.
And I do it on my selling group as well.
Yeah, I was selling
as people are joining.
I like that as well, because I'm always thinking sponsoring first, but actually, when they're joining your selling group, that's a good idea. It's maybe something will pop into the training. What do you think?
Yep.
That's a good idea. As they're, I mean, you're joining, getting loads of people joining at once, Nigel, so that's a bit different.
Yeah.
You will.
I've just gone on that now where I can message people individual. It's just something new for me, this sponsoring page. We've had it set up for a long time, but I'm not quite sure what to do with it. But I'm learning day by day.
I wouldn't recommend, if you're having 40 or 50 people joining at a time, that you message them all at the same time, because that might get you slowed down. Presumably it's your friends though that'll be different for you. If you're adding people that are on your friends list, you can message as many friends as you like, I would think.
No, but can you, if they're on your friends list?
I don't know these.
I've not done that many.
His plan is to go through them. I think his plan is just he's getting them in there and just drip feeding them.
Yeah, I don't know these people at all. I think I probably know about 3% of the people, all the other people.
But how have you got so many friends then?
They're Facebook friends, and
it just keeps adding.
Suggest your friends, add, and I'll keep doing that.
All right, okay.
I was probably doing about 300 a day, but I slowed down a bit now. I'll get to a point where they said you can't add any more people. So I'll do about 20 a day.
I think your maximum number of friends is 5,000. So you must be nearly there.
No, it's his group. He's inviting them into his group. I think what Facebook's
doing. But I'm asking him how he's got so many friends. And he says he only knows 3% of them, and he's saying that he's adding suggested friends.
Facebook group that resuscitated. You know, we've got 2,000 or 3,000 friends. It's an old one. He's resuscitated.
Yep.
Well, what I'll do, I'll pick an area. Say I'll pick Luton, and I'll go friends around Luton. I'll probably pick about 20 people, 8 of it, then I'll pick a different area. Then when I get suggested friends, they're within their areas of people they know. As long as sometimes I click on, and it could be, I could have like 20 or 30 mutual friends. Well, I'll click on the ones which only got 2 or 3 mutual friends. So I think it gets better that way. I'm not too sure. I'm just going along with it, and more friends I get, more I get all over the country, I'll get the word out there.
When I believe Louise might know this. I think when you get to 5,000 friends, they don't let you add any more friends, so everybody then has to follow you rather than be a friend. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
So you must be nearly there. So
for people who missed it last week, because Nigel has resuscitated an old Facebook. It was a Facebook he already had 2,000 or 3,000 friends, but as he says, he only knows 3% of them. It's the same with us, maybe a bit more because of Viva and Clooney's we might be a bit more than 3%, but he's getting, for somebody who's learning, you're doing brilliant, well done. He's getting loads of people into the group.
Yeah, I got 4,247 now.
In the group?
Yeah, in my on my Facebook wall. On my sponsoring group, I got 373. in my sponsoring group.
That's
But I
it.
keep going on and adding people and adding, and over a few days they start pinging up. Some, obviously, a lot of people would just ignore it, but the odd small percentage will go, yeah, I'll add that.
I'm not sure what percentage it is just now, but because I get the notifications, it's a lot. I can see it's a lot. That's why I was asking you.
It's something. It's a rod in my pond, I suppose. That's an online rod,
It's
which is what I'm learning.
It's something for us all to look at, because if you think, how long have we had our Facebook? Do you know what I mean? We're not resuscitating an old Facebook, but we have got a Facebook we've had for years and years and years. And, you know, I'm considering I'm going to go through the friends list, and that's a really good point, Nigel. There's a good point. If you think about going through your Facebook friends and you're worried about Facebook bans and upsetting and annoying people that you know because you've already rammed the business down their throat, see how many friends have got in common. Night, night, Fiona.
Night, Fiona. Take care. Hope you're feeling better soon. Bye.
Night.
Somebody gone. Fiona.
Even it was a wee message saying she's going to go and collect the wee fella for Scouts.
Oh, right.
And chat there. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying, so that's quite good because it gives somebody else an opportunity to talk again. Anybody else want to add anything?
Yeah, I just want to say something. I've been doing a lot of flying, but I also fly when I'm blanket dropping. And I'm doing about 80 to 90 books per day, which means I get 80, 90 flyers out. I've had nothing come through yet from my website, but I have had a phone call today from my ticket in my book, because I advertise a business as in for you Viva Cash, and I also put my phone number on Viva MK recruiting. I've had a phone call today saying you recruit in the area, and put the phone down. No phone number. Luckily, I did 1471, and I got the message, and Mandy text saying hi and sent the link to my I forgot where it is now. What's the link?
The shop.
For you the I forgot where it is now.
Yeah.
Not the shop, my website. So the website we built.
What would be the website?
I forgot what it's called. For you Viva Cash. That's it. And sent it through a text, and it still works. So she sent that and get in touch with him tomorrow.
Excellent.
That's from advertising Viva MK with my personal phone number on.
Yep.
So it's another rod in the pond, isn't it?
Yep.
And also talking about that, what I have noticed, and I don't think your website's set up, I don't think they're forced to leave their telephone number, but I have noticed that the prospects that you had on your Wix, they had like phone numbers. Which maybe times are changing. Maybe we need to just roll with the times and see why are they leaving phone numbers. It's unusual for somebody to actually phone, and to hang up's not unusual. They probably think, oh, I don't know what to say, and then they hang up. But then just follow up with a text. That's a great story. Keep us posted. Anybody else want to add anything?
Jane's putting her hand up.
Morag, we always talk way too much on here, but if you want to ask a question or anything, feel free to put your hand up. Yourself.
Jane, have you got a sore back?
Sorry?
You got a sore back?
I think it's the way I'm sitting.
I thought you had a sore back. Sorry, Morag, is there anything you want to say?
No. I just like to listen.
ask any question you like.
Just don't ask me. I like listening as well.
He does like to listen, but you're doing well with that. So getting all these people to join, and it's also springboarded more of us looking back at our own Facebook friends, which have been there for generations, and starting to maybe, what's your hook then? So what do you do to hook them in?
He just adds them. He just adds them. He just adds.
I know. I've got all my friends on my Facebook, which I don't know a lot of them, and I just invite them to the group.
Right, I remember.
I just invite everybody. You can keep going and going and going until your thumb's sore. Then over like the next week, people get notifications. Oh yes, I'll add myself to that. I reckon over about 200 people I invite, probably only about 4 or 5 would join it. Then in a week's time, you can invite them again.
Yep.
So I don't know whether the invite expires or whether it stops. I don't know. Anyway, they're coming along. That's the main thing. We
Yeah.
just need
Just make
people
sure
in our
with
team.
Facebook, if you're going back to the beginning, just to space it out a wee bit because of the Facebook rules. Because if you invite them to your shop every single week, you know, and people start to, you know, moan to Facebook, you could come on, you've got to watch, you come across as you're spamming. So you just have to space it out if you're going to go through them again. Did you say that Facebook said you couldn't add any more at one point?
When I'm trying to add suggested friends, it probably lets me do about 15 or 20. Then it says I've reached my limit for the day. When I first started doing it, there didn't seem to be any limit. I just went through hundreds. So it slowed me down.
They've slowed you down in Facebook fashion. That's a good one to keep for the training room because that's just like classic Facebook. They've slowed. So now we know that they're happy with 15, 20 a day, but hundreds a day, just like in our trainings. So some things haven't changed on Facebook. They still slow you down if you're doing something too quick. It's only because they think it says all these spammers out there, which we're not. We're just promoting our business enthusiastically.
I don't know if you noticed my post with my...
I'm loving the posts.
Yeah, the QR codes. The QR codes are working really well. So you've only got to put your camera on your phone, scan it, and bing, it's straight to your website. So that's really good, that is. And I'm putting them everywhere I go, they're going up now. So that's working well.
Something else, Jane, you were talking
in
about
the
last
car.
apparently, VMK Printing do it, apparently.
Apparently what?
VMK Printing do it.
Yeah, you can buy a QR code from them.
For a £5 or something, is it, Louise?
I think so, yeah.
QR codes are free if you download the app.
We can download the app, Jane, or get one for a £5. Yeah, and Nigel did say
I don't know what promotional material it's coming with, like, for them. Do you know what I mean?
They're people that take money for.
So they might be putting it on. They might be able to put it on a flyer for us or stuff as well.
To be fair, I don't think they're the kind of people sort of take money for nothing. So there would probably be some backup. Might be worthwhile finding out before I advertise it, like we did tonight. But we're amongst friends. Everybody's really quiet tonight. I thought I'm going to go on tonight. It's going to be the usual brilliant gang of leaders, and I'm going to give them the floor. Jeff disappeared when I gave him the floor.
Where's he gone?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
You want to talk? I don't know if anybody knows, but I was told about a German company a couple of years ago that prints flyers, business cards, or whatever you need, but it's very, very cheap. You have to wait quite a long time for the flyers to get here, but it's really cheap. Does anybody know the name of it?
No.
It's supposed to be silly cheap prices, and you get all different grades of paper and cards. But the chap had told me he moved away, but I'll try and get in touch with him and see if I know the name. If you want flyers prints, they're supposed to be silly prices.
Yeah.
You have to wait for about 6 weeks to go, which doesn't matter. So if you order a load,
that's true. If you're ordering them far enough in advance, I'm quite happy with Pauline's service actually, because I think for what she gives us is really reasonable. But if you wanted something bespoke made, you would maybe want to,
something
cast your net a bit. But she's got quite a good range, I think.
Yeah. So when I order flyers, I usually order about 20,000 at a time. So I buy in bulk. It can be quite expensive sometimes.
Yep.
But if you're buying that type of bulk, then that's a different ballpark. That's like the good old days.
I do print them off myself, but does
I used to go and pick up 50,000 at a time, and that was. Can you remember during that place in Glasgow?
Yeah.
Didn't you have to use a code to get cheap or something? Andy Stevens told me about the one. He said always use Glasgow and get cheaper. Is that the one?
No, Jane and I were. This was a printing place, but
right.
Stevenson would be talking about would be Bid's web shop.
Yeah, right. So use Glasgow, you get cheaper, and that was good.
But what I found, Nigel, was there's a guy in Kilmarnock, well, outskirts of Kilmarnock, and he gives me a really good price for cards. It's not flyers. I mean, I can get well, I used to get 20,000 cards for 100 quid.
Mm.
That's cheap.
That's cheap.
And all I did, Nigel, was I searched around. I Googled all of the printers in the area, and then I spoke to them.
Work the deal out.
You know, and I said to them how many flyers I wanted and how often I would want them, what would be their best price. And we did it that way. That was the way I found them. You know, and a lot of wee printing places are happy to use things like that as a fill-in between the menus and all the other stuff that they produce, because you know, you don't.
Sometimes they can use offcuts as well.
That's what
That's right, Kate.
they always used offcuts. That's why we got it cheap. But that's if you're doing it in bulk. And it's, I guess we're getting near the close of the Zoom. I'm very surprised you're all so quiet. Must be needing spring. We must be needing spring. You're all tired because I know you're all working so hard, but I just don't want to take the floor all the time. So I thought tonight I would try and give it over to everybody, but I enjoyed that about the online side of the business. Jane quite rightly said at the beginning of the Zoom that most people on here, apart from Louise and Morag, Louise bobbed up there. It was nothing bad then. It was about selling online. Most of them have catalogue customer base. So if you're finding the online side of the business, that's one thing that we're learning. We're not just talking about the online side of the business to retail, which is what tonight's original was, retail. But I'll let you decide on the subject. But it's not just to retail the products, it's a massive sponsoring tool. It's right up there with the best of them, like the back, you know, all these ones that we've loved for years, and it gets results. And it's also a media that people are using, and because of lockdown, they're using it more. Same with WhatsApp. Just to remind you, WhatsApp is definitely being used more because of lockdown. So, and the QR codes. There's so many exciting things at the moment. Yep. Next week, I'm going to make a subject. And if nobody volunteers to do the training, I'll do it. But I thought next week I'll do what I would like. It isn't the period that we do have 2 in a row. Don't maybe have 2 Wednesday webinars in a row. I didn't really want to come on tonight and say let's have another brainstorm, because I know that's what we've been doing for a long time, and we are set in getting that structure and system in place. But while it's us who know the business, we're as well exploring anything that you want to talk about, and that's why I asked you tonight. But next week, what I would like to talk about is how to get a new person started. How to, I mean, Jane was asking, Louise gave a great response to the online side there, but the steps that you go through. But in particular, Louise, you've inspired a training from me, because Louise's attraction marketing works really, really well. But because the way she does her attraction marketing, you'd quite often get people who have already been in another business. We all do. We all get this. I'm actually thinking about putting into training, but it's definitely going to be in next week's training. How do we deal with somebody who comes in and they're long in the tooth? That would be the words I'd want to use, long in the tooth. They're already successful doing blah, blah. I never like to put names to them, because the only names that comes to my lips, I like to be Viva MK. Because I hate putting names. I'm not that I feel in competition, but I just like there's other people that have done other businesses, they've been successful with them in one way, shape or form online. How do we get that person in Viva MK? Because they can't, Louise?
Yep.
These are the most difficult ones. And you know, my training will maybe convert 10% of them, but I'll not maybe change the results, you know. But that's just a short training. It was inspired by me, mainly inspired by Louise, because a lot of people are doing other things. I think we've mentioned that in previous Zooms. And if they come to us, I do feel we've got the best package. The care package, the way we look after them, the way we support them. So
A lot of other companies are very niche, like
Yeah.
they're just fragrance or they're just skincare. And a lot more people now, especially just now when people are looking to make more income, they're
Yep.
wanting a wider range of products. So their customer base that buys perfume for them, perfume is not going to be classed just now as a necessity, an essential product for a lot of people. You
Mhm.
know, whereas some home stuff, some cleaning stuff maybe still would be, you know,
Mhm.
and things like that. So we shouldn't discourage people just because they're in another business.
no, I'm
Because
not saying to discourage them.
I think the majority of the time, if they've got that network marketing head on, then they're going to, how can I put this over? They get what we're doing, they get the pay plan, etc., right from the off. So they're coming in with that knowledge. But once they see the network side, and I think that's what Lynn's trying to say, the network side and the positivity that we've got, the communication that we've got
We
between the
support.
network, and the majority of networks haven't got that.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's
haven't
what I'm
got
trying
that.
to say.
You know, they never get a good morning for their managing director. They never get a live. They didn't get incentives every other week or whatever. The managing director wouldn't know half of them
That's right.
by name or, you know, faces, you know. So that can people from a networking background seeing that, I think that can make an absolute world of a difference
Mm-hmm.
to
I
a
definitely
lot of people. But it's getting them in the first place. That's the
It's not so much getting them in, it's just trying to get their brain to see that they have to look at Viva as a new business and learn the Viva business. But that's why Louise inspired me, and she'll maybe help me cover that, because I think it is quite important. But the time's up. I see people looking at their clocks. I'm trying to get more digital for our digital people who like the meetings to start and end on time. Nigel, I thought you were going to say something.
No, it's 8 o'clock.
I keep forgetting that's fast. So is that fast then?
Oh, the wrong time.
It's 9:05.
Right, 6
Oh.
bells are 5 minutes out. I've been relying on your bells, Nigel, and Jeff's, but when we talked about online, I think.
That's it.
But
Just altered it.
I do think it's
Good
Bye.
night, Jane.
Bye.
bye, Jane. I just before I'll say good night. Last person to speak.
Was you going to speak?
Who?
You.
I'm speaking now.
I just want to say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
See you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Much.
Good evening.
See you next week.
We're on to